What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Post Pro Podcast. It's episode 30. We are in 30 episodes deep of the Post Pro Podcast. It's
Wow.
crazy.
We have more episodes than we do subscribers.
Wait, I thought we had. Oh, well, yeah. I think you're right.
I think we have 28.
28.
Oh, man.
I thought we were up to 35 at one point. Or maybe.
Let's see. Oh, we have 31. Yo.
Yes. So next episode, unless we get more.
Subscriber special.
Subscriber special.
Yo. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. We'll
Any comment.
Top comment will be on the next episode.
Watch no one comment.
Gotta watch the movie.
So
Gotta watch the movie.
So Sebastian's not here, but hopefully he'll be able to hop on later on. If not, then we won't have Sebastian. But moving on, movie news. So I didn't really have anything especially noteworthy other than the Netflix original from last year, Tall Girl, is getting a sequel.
Yeah.
So hip hip hooray for that, right?
Wait, that's also like Sebastian-oriented news.
Yeah, I'm sure he would
love
love
those
that.
awful fucking Netflix originals. Yeah, nice. And then we get Kissing Booth 3 soon.
Not soon. I mean, that's like a year.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. We got peak cinema going on right now. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely. Yeah. Actually, speaking of like actual peak cinema, both Mank comes out on Netflix December 4th, and Sound of Metal comes out on Amazon Prime December 4th as well. So looking forward to those.
Oh shit! I'm so excited for Sound of Metal. I might actually have to watch more than one movie for a week. Oh wait, no, just pick Sound of Metal. Wait, we're good.
There you go. Yeah. And I know you said you wanted to mention some.
Oh well, so of course Sebastian's not here, but Johnny Depp's replacement for Fantastic Beasts got announced. I mean, let's take a shot, right? One actor to replace him. Which will you guys choose? I think this
I know who it is.
Oh, you know who it is? It's spot on casting. Colin?
Yeah.
Just tell me. I don't know.
It's Mads Mikkelsen, which is like spot on.
Okay. Yeah.
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 So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't think any of us are really fans of the Fantastic Beasts franchise, but
Not really.
in terms of casting, at least, it's pretty good.
Sure,
In terms of replacing as well. All right, cool. That's all I have. I'm sure Sebastian would have, I'll say what Sebastian said. Johnny Depp!
Johnny Depp. And speaking of Johnny Depp, I mean, we're going to be talking about his movie later on. So, did you have any movie news, Noah, you wanted to add, or?
No. I mean,
okay.
I don't see anything.
So, I guess we'll move on to what we watched this week. I can start.
All right. Wait, no. I'll start.
You want to start it off?
Okay.
Right,
Start the timer. You ready? This is a what Thomas watched, any percent speed run. Okay. Fear Loathing in Las Vegas, end timer.
All right. It's becoming a trend with you, Thomas, to just watch and nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been I'm not even gonna say busy. I've been lazy, but somehow lazy on watching movies. But whatever, we here now.
Either way, yeah.
So the single second is gonna be the wait. No, you're going last because it's your pick.
Oh yeah.
The single second is gonna be that, and then having the next section and the timestamps be Thomas's introspective look on his life.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
there we go.
I don't know. I like my job, but every day, I'm just like doing the same thing over and over again, and I don't know how long I can keep up for it, man. And then like school, what's the point of school? Like I'm just like doing this work, this media work that means nothing to me, absolutely nothing to me, and like, oh man. All I'm doing is playing video games like boom, 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 headshot. Oh, man, what am I doing with my life, Collin?
He's still going. You were still
It's
going.
good that went on for so long, Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the
anyway,
voice you put on. Interesting.
Thank you. It's heavily inspired by Benicio del Toro in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Okay, all right.
It's
I
not
wouldn't have
just
guessed that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe you just didn't look into an introspective study of Benicio del Toro's character in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, okay? Didn't realize that he was a college dropout that played video games that had no idea what his work life was going on.
Yeah. Well, what do I know?
Wow.
All right, Noah, take it away.
Oh yeah. So finally got around to finishing my Baz Luhrmann run with Australia, which is like the second most recent movie, but it was released like 12 years ago. Crazy. I don't know. It's definitely like a lot more populist and less stylized than like literally every other single one of his movies, but it is still like pretty heavily stylized. I don't know. It's very weird like watching it last. Definitely my least favorite of his, but I don't know. It's not necessarily like as crass or weird as I was expecting it to be. And by crass, I guess I mean populist. I don't know why I said that, but you know, I don't know. It kind of like works, even though it really shouldn't. I guess is basically what it comes down to. Anyway, it's fine.
I remember. I'm thinking of a different one. Oh, I'm thinking of a different Baz Luhrmann film. Oh, Australia is this one. Okay, never mind. Keep going.
I mean, that was pretty legit on that. But let's see. Watched Shirley from earlier this year, starring Elizabeth Moss and Michael Stuhlbarg. And who's that other guy? Oh yeah, Logan Lerman. Right. Every time I look at the cast, I'm like, right,
Logan Lerman. Nice.
Yeah.
Percy Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Pretty good. It's not really a biopic as much as it's like just like a fictional story that's sort of inspired by real people, but like not really. And it could have kind of been anyone. I mean, not like anyone, you know, but it could have just been like made up characters, and I'm not sure it would have necessarily changed like how much I liked it per se. You know, like it's just really don't go in expecting a biopic.
Yeah.
But it's good, heavily stylized.
Talk about New Mutants. Talk about New
Do
Mutants.
I have to?
Yes,
I mean,
please. I just want to know because you rated it like much higher than Sebastian and I.
Because I don't know, like what were you guys expecting? I wasn't expecting it to be great or anything. It was
We weren't
fine
either.
for what it was.
You were expecting it to
I
be
don't know.
bad, and it was even worse.
Yeah. It was definitely not worse than I was expecting. Like, I don't know. It's weird YA stuff. It's fine. Which, like, I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it, but I, like, wasn't bored by it, which I was kind of maybe expecting a little bit.
Yeah, sort of like a watchable bad.
Yeah, exactly. And not in, like, I don't know, like, it's just completely inoffensive to me. So,
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean,
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
And then I watched Unforgiven, directed by Clint Eastwood, which is really good. I don't know. I mean, I like talked about like 50 fucking revisionist westerns, and I pretty much have the same thing to say about all of them. So I don't know. Not going to repeat myself. I liked it. Then I watched Rain Man, which was fine, I guess. I mean, by fine, I mean like good watchable, not like bad watchable. You know.
Yeah.
You know. I guess it basically like met my expectations. I don't really know. Really don't have a lot to say about that one. Just kind of watched it. I was like, yeah. And then Beau Travail with oh my god. So watching Home Alone. Huh.
Home Alone.
Sorry, yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Home Alone.
Great that you guys heard
Home
that.
Home Alone. Dad heart.
It was bound to happen to Noah at some point. We finally got it.
No,
I mean,
heart.
it was, yeah. I'm kind of surprised it hadn't happened before. What was I saying? I don't know, just Beau Travail. It's a really good movie. It's really, I don't know. I think it's worth watching, even if you don't like it at all, just because, like, of how interesting and different, like, the style and storytelling is. And especially, like, I think the final scene is maybe one of my favorite scenes, like, ever, that I've ever seen. And again, like, even if you don't like it as much, like the scene or the movie, I think it's worth watching just for that.
Yeah. How many Claire Denis films have you seen now?
Just two, just High Life and this.
Okay, yeah.
And I mean, I think those are the only two that I'd really like heard of, like that I could tell you, you know, like Claire Denis directed these.
Yeah.
But I think there are a lot more on Criterion, so I might just watch them eventually. Then I watched Tomboy by Celine Sciamma because it was leaving this month. I mean, so were her other movies, and I just didn't get around to watching them. Oh well. But glad I watched Tomboy. I don't
Tomboy's
know.
really, really fucking good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just like, yeah, it's just like about a thing that happens in childhood, and it's like sometimes childhood is bad. Agreed.
Yeah, that's an oh fuck movie.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a really good way to put it, actually. But yeah, it's only like 80 minutes long.
Yeah, it's super short.
Watched Heathers, which is really funny. I'm trying to like figure out the way to say this. I don't know. Have either of you seen it?
No.
Okay.
I know what it is.
Well, it's like. Well, do you know what it is though? It's like a social satire, like teen
yeah,
movie.
it's like
Okay.
teen girls being like rompy teen girls, but set to like 20.
Set to
Right?
like 20?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like set to extreme, right? It's extreme idealism of high school.
but not for the reason you're thinking. It's
Okay.
not. No, it's not the idealism of high school.
I've like listened to a couple of the songs. That's
Yeah.
it.
I mean, but it's
Tell
more of
your
a
roommate I
satire
said
of
hi,
like.
Collin. Tell your roommate I said hi.
Oh, okay. Well,
Wait, yeah.
Just noticing that too. It's more of a like satire of like the dark side of high school, not like the like fun poppy. I mean, I guess it kind of like combines both, but it's like a dark comedy basically, which I'm not. I guess it's not what you thought. I don't really know.
Maybe.
Okay, whatever. And it's really good at that. I don't know. Like it's surprisingly. I mean, maybe not even surprisingly. I don't know. A lot of people like that movie specifically, but yeah, like again, for a pretty like dark topic, it holds up really well. It's one of the few movies that like feels. I mean, like obviously it is very much like set in the '80s and like based on the John Hughes vibe, but like other than that, it feels like it could have been made yesterday, like more or less. So yeah. Let's see, Constantine, which is pretty good for what it is. I don't know. It's Constantine. Then I watched Dirty Harry and Breathless, which will just combine into one because they're sort of the same movie. I mean, no, they're not. Whatever. They're both noirs.
I mean,
in a very vague sort of sense.
yeah, I guess I've not seen either of them, but then like just thinking about the plot, yeah, I guess.
I mean, no, I guess they're not the same movie, but whatever. I just
mean,
watched them close together, so they're kind of blending together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dirty Harry is fine. I feel like, what was I? Because I think you mentioned this, Thomas, about like some other movie, some other time, about like how like when you're watching a movie, like it just takes itself very seriously and like it knows that it's like trying to be an important movie or whatever.
Yeah.
And that just kind of turns me off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes, not all the time. And I mean, that's definitely kind of like why I didn't necessarily love Dirty Harry, but I liked it.
That was a big part of Oxlux too.
Well, okay.
Everything comes back to Voxlux.
Yeah. Well, but that's just like pretension. It's kind of, I would say, different.
But I think pretension and taking yourself seriously is pretty synonymous.
They're similar. Yeah, no, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like, you know, some movies, while good, take themselves too seriously and would be better if they just took themselves less too seriously.
I guess, like, pretension can, like, diverge in different genres, too. Like, I mean, Million Ways to Die in the West, pretension and comedy.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, so I definitely think that pretension can be what was the other word we were using? Fuck.
Taking itself too seriously? Like
like pretension can take itself too seriously, but taking itself too seriously, whatever. We're off this track.
I guess I was mostly just talking about the difference between movies that I like and movies that I don't like, and that's the main distinction I was using. But whatever. So yeah, Dirty Harry pretty good. Watched Breathless, which is honestly great. It's just like, you know, pure, unadulterated representation of id, just like walking around France for 90 minutes, like lying down sometimes. I mean, walking is maybe not the most accurate way to describe that movie. There's a pretty long sequence in like one room specifically. So, you know, walking is maybe not apt entirely. Although, I mean, he does walk around that room a little bit, you know? So,
walking.
It's
a movie about walking.
Yeah, exactly.
you're breathless because you're trying to catch your breath after.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's like, it starts out with him driving. So I know.
What Collin was watching.
Then he's running, and he ends the movie running, and falling.
Well, I was gonna say technically he doesn't end the movie running. I mean,
yeah.
Can you tell the Collin's intonation in his voice that he doesn't like Breathless?
I really hated Breathless. But, it's not... That's my opinion, and Noah's is going to be off mine, so, it's just...
Yeah.
And Collins is right, Noah's is wrong.
Thanks.
I don't know.
Just say it.
Thank you.
But I mean, I do think basically, like, the thing that I said before I, diverted myself is pretty much how I feel about it. Like, it's great because it's just, like, an incredibly one-dimensional character. Like, one of the most one-dimensional characters I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, like, exploring that for 90 minutes. And it's great. I don't know. I liked it.
Sure.
And then Fear and Loathing. And that's it.
All right. So I'll go ahead and finish this up. I had a pretty down week, but I went home for Thanksgiving, so we weren't really watching a lot of movies. Although I did catch Harry Potter, Half-Blood Prince, and then Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. I caught the bits of those on Freeform one night. They do their little marathon around this time of year.
Oh, but you didn't log them?
Well, I didn't watch all of them, so to me it didn't count.
Yeah, I know.
And it is on TV.
Yeah, Thomas
so you get like,
definitely knows.
I was pretty close. Yeah, I almost logged something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we ended up catching a bit of Arrival on television as well. I really didn't pay much attention at all. I need to see that again.
Oh.
But what I did watch in full was started off with Perfect Blue. Watched that with my roommate because he'd never seen it. And it's good. I think it's a movie that improves the more you watch it, and I could definitely see myself watching it over and over. And as a fan of Darren Aronofsky, this is one of his most influential films, so he took a lot from it. I think it's cool to see where those influences came from. It's a good movie. It's a dark movie. It's a weird one. Then I watched Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and I followed that up right after with another Hunter S. Thompson adaptation called The Rum Diary, which also stars Johnny Depp, and it was not very good. It was okay. Nothing really much to say there, and that was it. So with that, I think we will move on to
just a Fear and Loathing.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I chose this because we all kind of agreed on it, but my roommate and I, a couple of years ago when we first moved in here, started watching it, and then I think I mentioned this before, we didn't have our setup in terms of speakers very well, so we could barely hear the movie with like volume all the way up, and we just kind of stopped. So this is the first time I've seen it in full, and I thought it was all right. Kind of not my kind of movie, but I can appreciate it a lot for what it did. It's well made. Performances are really good.
Quite well, yeah.
Someone else take over. I don't even know.
I mean, my main thing was kind of the opposite. Where I guess maybe not the opposite. I don't know. I just found it really hard to pay attention, like after the first 20 minutes, when it's just kind of like is hitting like the exact same tone and no plot for like the entire 2-hour runtime.
Yeah,
and it's not really a tone that I love, so I don't know.
Oh, I might be.
I feel like
here.
Yeah, I guess so.
If Sebastian were here, he'd be the one.
I think it's
raising.
Like it really feels like a movie that you should not be like trying to like fully engage with. I don't know. Like, sense.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for what it is, at least for me, I thought it was pretty well paced. There were only a handful of times where I was like, okay, come on. I think it is a bit long by the but
I definitely can't say like probably long in terms of how it is just very repetitive in its tone.
Actually, I didn't ever find it like glaringly repetitive. I never got like annoyed by it in that sense.
Me neither, but I was just never like, ooh, this is like an interesting new twist or anything.
Sure, yeah. And that's kind of how I feel. Like by the end, you're just kind of like, all right.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely just the way I describe the movie. The movie, just the best way to describe it is a vibe. Yeah. Right? Like, you kind of just vibe out with it, and even if it's just mentally insane, you're kind of just, like, watching the journey.
Yeah.
And speaking of, like, just my main description of it being a vibe, I think the main reason that, like, the main thing that put me off, compared to you guys, because I was really enjoying it, was the scene that I would call the vibe killer, being the diner scene. That was just, like, I very often like more like films that take themselves a little less seriously and kind of just go off the rails and then have that serious moment. I like those, but that's just, yeah, like I said, just killed the vibe for me. It just turned me off on it.
Okay. I really like that scene because it shifts into like, you know, this isn't all fun and games really.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Seriousness to it. So I thought it was good. It was definitely tense. You
Yeah.
did really well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad scene, but I think I enjoyed the film for a different reason than you may have. Well, I think I enjoyed it for a reason you might have disliked it, because I just enjoyed watching the antics ensue, just in general.
No, it has a good energy that it mostly keeps up throughout the runtime. It's just, I think the main issue I had with it was it's both simultaneously a pro and a con. It's no plot, narrative, and structure. Works in a sense, so leaves a lot desired by the time it's finished. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much.
I found it particularly in the characters. I just kind of wanted more from them. You know, I don't see any, like, you get subtleties, I guess, like the diner scene, for example, but there's nothing ever, I don't know, there's not a lot of like conflict that seems to matter. If you know
yeah, I guess the conflict, I think they're very like well developed characters though.
You think so?
No, well, especially
yeah.
Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I don't embarrass myself. Okay, yeah. All right, so especially like Depp's character Duke in general, or Rezo Duke, I do think it's a very well developed character in the sense where whenever he does start monologuing in his head, it's very like just hearing his introspectivities is interesting in how like he is this drug crazed maniac, and it really like rounds out his character as being more than just what can be perceived. Too.
Okay, yeah, I think I did like the use of narration in the monologues and all. I don't know, I still didn't really grab a lot from it. Yeah,
the monologue about like 60s acid culture and the moment in the bathroom with the cocaine, like
those were probably two of my two favorite moments, honestly.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just because I was not zoning out, but I was just kind of watching without
being like gripped by the film.
Yeah. But it's definitely not bad. I really like the cinematography. I really like.
Oh yeah. Like you could do like a masterclass on tilts for this film. Oh my god.
And just handheld in general. I mean, the cinematography is great.
The set design too.
I was just about to say production design.
How much the production team had to fucking trash up those hotel rooms.
Seriously, yeah. It looks gross.
It looks
there was a scene, there was a shot where Benicio del Toro throws up into a toilet.
Oh my god, that shot is disgusting.
Especially because it was like a smash cut from something. I don't remember.
Yeah,
like directly into the vomit.
Yeah, and I was like, that is like one of the most realistic, gross.
Yeah. Can we talk about how great Spider-Man is in this too? Oh my god. Just the scenes are like,
he's literally in two scenes.
He's just sitting there. It's so funny.
It is really funny.
It is funny.
They're just like using his face and not a lot else.
Well, how far into his career would that be? In 99?
98. I mean, like
98.
Had the ice storm, so but it's not like that was a huge hit or anything. I mean, obviously that was before Spider-Man. I don't know what else had he done before the ice storm.
Let's see.
Oh, Pleasantville was the same year as Fear and Loathing.
Okay,
yeah. So I guess this was pretty early on, honestly.
Yeah, he probably only did a few things, nothing.
Yeah, too major.
Yeah, but his cameo was good. I did like Gary Busey's cameo as well. The whole scene was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole movie's weird, but.
And then fucking Penn from Penn and Teller is in it for like 5 seconds.
That was great. I was like, hey.
Yeah. Hey, look at that guy. I know that guy.
Yeah. It did a good job of like just kind of throwing in cameos. And I think it does do a solid job of maintaining that tone throughout the movie. And if like the pacing and energy isn't always consistent. But it does a good job of being like both funny and serious at times.
Yeah, for sure.
Not trying to be funny. It's never trying to be funny.
Mhm.
It's just
Well, like-
kind of absurd in the certain events that take place.
I guess going back to my main gripes, going back to that scene, I kind of wish that instead of it going to just full dark, like just going in, it like just like left them to themselves more, like left them to their sober selves. I feel like that's what was missing.
Yeah.
Was a moment of sobriety too.
I mean,
Okay.
even if it was
But-
just between like one of them, I don't think both of them
Oh
necessarily.
yeah, for sure. And I guess there were technically moments of sobriety where Benicio del Toro's character, like in the office, but I guess you don't know, things can be assumed. Yeah. Cool. Is this all we really have for Fear and Loathing?
I guess,
I don't
like, I mean, I think really for me, it was like half of it worked and half of it didn't work, but it's just,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I could definitely see it working, but it just, I guess I just wasn't too into it because it's a really well-made movie. Although there were some like rather blatant ADR and sync issues.
Mhm. Oh yeah, there were some bad ones for sure.
There was some sound that I was like, whoa, that's
There was a couple of
rough.
Del Toro in the car where his mouth just wasn't moving.
Yeah.
He was like speaking full lines.
Yeah, there was this scene in the casino where one of the employees was talking, but the actress wasn't. And I was like,
Yeah.
huh. So stuff like that was kind of annoying. But I mean,
Ironically, you could just write it off as it's a road trip. They're imagining it because, like,
Well,
in my head,
yeah.
I was like, oh, Depp's character is just hearing what Depp's character wants to hear.
yeah.
But that is kind of a lazy excuse.
But it does do a pretty creative job at visualizing the drug-induced stupor that.
Oh my god! Oh,
'Cause there were
the
certain
lizard
scenes-
scene?
Yeah,
Oh
like the
my
visuals of the
fucking God.
lizards. I also really like the scene where Benicio del Toro is talking to him, but Benicio del Toro himself is just babbling. He's not even
Yeah.
speaking words. He's just moving his mouth, you know.
Mhm.
The shutter speed was changed after they take the ether, I think it was, or something. I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
But I visually, it's and stylistically,
Which is
it's a really nice film to
definitely
look
a
at.
big thing for all of Gilliam's films, though.
Sure, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh my god, if you watch Brazil, it's insane.
Yeah.
Even Fisher King too.
I've seen
Mhm.
The opening of Brazil.
the opening Brazil, but I was going to say the Zero Theorem, which is
Oh,
interesting as well.
Yeah, ending of Brazil is also fucking crazy. Brazil's a crazy ass movie. Y'all should watch Brazil.
that's true.
All right, so I mean, go on to ratings. I feel like we've covered it.
Yeah, so I mean, I like a lot about it, but a lot of it just doesn't work for me. I'll probably give it a 5 out of 10.
I mean, you said 50% I like, 50% I don't like. So.
Yeah. But I think I admire this movie a lot more than I enjoy.
That's fair.
Mhm.
I'd give it like a 4.
I was leaning towards a 7. I think there's much more about I like than I dislike. And I think it's just very like specific things that, as I said, the vibe killer.
Yeah. What do we think Sebastian would have given this? He said it was top 50 all time.
Well,
I think
I mean, I guess that
that.
explains
I
it.
mean, that means a 5 out of 5 to me.
Yeah.
'Cause he has 75 out of 5s or something on Letterboxd.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
All right. Well, just between the three of us, it's going to be a 5.3 out of 10.
wait. Okay, so he has 45 5 out of 5s on Letterboxd. So it could just fall right down.
Yeah.
It could, but he also does not like log every single movie that he watches
Mhm,
or has
right.
watched. You know.
We'll just say he.
Okay.
Whatever.
We'll say 10.
So that was Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Wait, so what's our rating for between the three of
5.3.
us?
5.3.
5.3. All right. I guess since Sebastian's gone, I guess it's my pick.
I thought it was mine.
No,
Isn't it mine?
I thought we were going back to but since
I mean,
Sebastian,
it would have been Sebastian's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
so
does
then
guess
it would be
Sebastian
Noah's.
Noah? Oh, and Noah
Yeah.
go. Okay. For whatever reason, I thought it would have been mine.
Okay. I mean, have pretty much been like looking for the past like 20 minutes or so. But you know what? I just decided on.
Say Sound of Metal, so I don't have to watch a movie next week. Say Sound of Movie, so only Sound of Metal, so I don't have to watch
will
one.
not.
Damn it! Now I have to watch
Isn't that
two
a-
movies.
Brian, you know that I don't have Brian.
No.
Clouds of Sils Maria, which is at least on Criterion, apparently.
Never heard of that.
It's directed by a French guy. It stars Juliette Binoche and Kristen Stewart. I believe it's in English, though. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's been on my watch list for a while, but
Yeah, I've never even heard of this.
interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Rated well.
Oh, Chloe Grace Moretz. Ooh, voice work.
Oh, okay. This is the guy who did Personal Shopper and Irma Vep. So I yeah.
Okay, it's crazy that you've heard of those that you haven't heard of.
Yeah, I
Well,
haven't
not
heard of
crazy,
this.
I guess, but I don't know. Weird. Interesting.
Well, I feel like 2016 would be more around the time Collin was like seeing every trailer, watching all the news. So like just
I guess that
even
makes
some
sense,
random
yeah.
French guy. You see that?
Okay.
Uh,
So
yeah.
that'll wrap up a very
Irma Vep looks interesting. Huh.
Okay.
I mean, just. Huh.
yeah. I heard that though. That's a weird one. Anything else to add, fellas?
Not that I can think of.
Was it good morning if I don't see you again? Good afternoon and good night?
Good evening, good night. I think
Fuck, dude, I always mess it up.
it's close. No, hey, good effort. All right.
Yeah.
I think with that, we're gonna wrap up a very quick episode of the Post Pro podcast.
Which means people might watch it, which means people might comment, which means we might have a special guest next episode.
Special guest, or wait, we're gonna bring on whoever comments.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It could be Dom Cobb or
would be
Don Cobb again.
So excited.
Yeah, that would be
so excited.
so. Yeah,
Oh my god.
that was Fear and
Well,
Loathing in
no,
Las
because
Vegas.
now he's the protagonist or something.
Oh yeah,
right?
the protagonist, right? Yeah. So that'll wrap up the episode. Stay tuned next week when we watch Clouds of Sils Maria.
And if you comment, you better be prepared to watch Clouds of Sils Maria.
Thomas.
Yeah.
You better be ready. Also watch Sound of Metal. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
extra pick.
I'm still trying to get Citizen Kane from the library. They're giving me so much trouble.
Really?
Yeah. All right. That's it. Signing off.
Bye-bye.